If you're a single mom, this is for you. I am going to give you some tips on what to do with that tax credit money. I'm not your mom and I am not judging. If you want to spend all that money on that Disney trip or that Disney cruise, that's between you and yourself. That I'm not judging. If you want to be more independent, this is going to help you. All right, I wrote some notes, but I feel like my notes can take forever and I'm trying to keep this video very short. I used to do envelopes. For me, like if it's an envelope in cash, it like helped me not spend the money. So I would have like different envelopes for the fair, spring break, summer, clothes, back to school, birthday, Christmas, my son's savings, my savings, also giving. Basically, things that I knew I was going to do every year that was important to me as a mother to do with my son or for my son, or, something that we needed, like every spring break, even if it was just one weekend at the beach at a cheap little hotel. And it was always memorable. So, like little things like that, if you have those things, put some money aside for those things. My son's birthday was in August and back to school was in August. So I would put money aside, especially for school, because that's a need. So I would make sure I would put a chunk of money for August, knowing that my son would have at least one or two pairs of shoes, his clothes, like a week's worth of clothes, and his book bag, all his supplies, and anything the school was asking me that was never on the supply list until the first week of school. I would put money aside for Christmas, even gave 10% of my tax credit. You don't have to do that. That was just something that God put on my heart every year, or I would sometimes bless another single mom with her kids with that money. Now, I'm not saying we're going to have money to do all these things. Put like 500 aside for August. And then I would put like 500 to the side for summer. And then I would put like 300 or 400 to the side for his clothes and stuff. That's 1400. My light just came off. And I would just budget. Like, I don't know if you guys ever budgeted. You can look up how to budget and allocate. I would make sure it balanced and made sure it looked reasonable. And my goal was anything that was more in the future, like August, I would put less money and then work towards saving for that. But it was like almost like a safety net to help me. So in case I'm in a bind, which I always was, like sometimes his father would say, yeah, I'm going to help you with the boots for his field trip. I will never forget that. Last minute, he didn't show up. So I had to buy my son snow boots when I was really, really tight last minute. And I just took it out of my emergency fund. That's like what saved me. You guys can do it however you want. I think the tax credit is such a blessing for single mothers. And just be smart and wise about it because it's a helper. But to each its own, like I get it. I hope these tips help. I didn't want to go too much in detail. I hope this video is not all over the place, but just don't sleep on that tax credit.